everybody, my name is Eric Hopkins, and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're finding me for the very first time, or you are a returning viewer and have not yet done so, please click that like and subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you get all the notifications about when I put up new content right here on this channel. So there's a lot of talk going around the internet right now about the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer that dropped about a week or two ago. And of course, you know, the talk is right now, will we be getting multiple different Spider-Man in this film with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield returning in their respective roles from their respective Spider-Man films? We know that Alfred Molina's Doc Ock, and we've even got some teases at the Green Goblin and Electro and Sandman and some of those characters coming back from those old Spider-Man films. So does that mean that the old Spider-Man films, the Sam Raimi and the Mark Webb films, are they official MCU canon? Let's go over here and check out this article from Epic Stream. Is Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy MCU canon now? Following the release of the much-awaited trailer of Spider-Man 3 No Way Home, many are excited for what is in store for Tom Holland's version of the Web Slinger. And with the arrival of the various villains from previous adaptations of the story of Peter Parker, many are asking the question whether the trilogy of Sam Raimi is canon to the MCU now. Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy really changed the game of the 2000s when he released and introduced Tobey Maguire as the titular character with an extremely captivating story about the web slinger in 3 movies. It started a whole era for the superhero, and many have since been invested in Peter Parker since then. 2 decades have passed. Oh my gosh, that tells me how old I am. And despite being followed by 2 trilogies of Spider-Man of Andrew Garfield with the Amazing Spider-Man trilogy of Mark Webb, well, that was only really a duality, and that of Tom Holland in the MCU by John Watts, the trilogy of Sam Raimi paved way for all these, and it remains the OG version, the one that started it all for the favorite wall crawler. Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy not only introduced Tobey Maguire as the titular character, but it also gave way to horrendous villains wreaking havoc on the life of Peter Parker, with the Green Goblin in the first, Dr. Octopus in the second, and Venom and Sandman in the third film. Even Peter's best friend Harry Osborn became a villain in the last installment, which kind of made the film a little bit overbloated in some respects. In the release of the Spider-Man 3 No Way Home trailer, we see the arrival of Dr. Octopus, as you see right here on the screen, even hearing the voice of Green Goblin, and in a blink or miss it moment, some believe that Sandman also had a cameo in the teaser. We got the pumpkin bomb here teased for the Green Goblin moment. This brings the question of whether Raimi's trilogy is now official MCU canon. Well, it's too early to say that the whole trilogy is canon considering that the involvement of Tobey Maguire in the film remains in speculation, but it definitely involves the villains from Sam Raimi's movies, and they are now canon with the confirmation of their arrival in the MCU, and seeing them in the trailer with the same roles they took before is a direct affirmation that they now form part of the wider universe. See the original villains wreak havoc in the life of Peter Parker in Spider-Man 3 No Way Home, December 7th, 2021. So yes, are those movies official MCU canon? Yes and no. To me, it's like you introduced the multiverse in the Loki series, so now these movies are now part of the wider Marvel multiverse, but now they're going to be ripped from that multiverse and they're going to be brought into Spider-Man No Way Home. So technically, yes, they are part of the wider Marvel Cinematic Universe now. Everything Marvel has done, from the Blade films, the Ghost Rider films, the Spider-Man movies, the old X-Men stuff from the Fox universe, all this stuff in the wider Marvel universe, the multiverse of the MCU, they all exist. It all happened. It all counts. So if the MCU chooses to reference these moments and times, they can. Everything matters, much like in the DC world where the old Michael Keaton Batmans, the Christopher Reeve Supermans, they all count in the wider DC universe. These Spider-Man movies now count in the wider MCU universe. They may not be the direct timeline of the Avengers, but as Loki pointed out, there's multiple different timelines going on at the same time, and they can converge. And at the end of Loki's, things have happened to where now we are going to be seeing these convergences. And of course, the spell that Doctor Strange apparently cast in the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer could be making these multiverse timelines converge onto one another. So yes, everything that happened in Sam Raimi and Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man films are considered MCU canon, and everything that took place in the Andrew Garfield, Mark Webb Spider-Man films, they're considered MCU canon, and they can cross over now and have all that converge onto one another. So I think it's going to make a lot of fun and a lot of good storytelling moving forward to have all, and we could even see some X-Men stuff converge with, Patrick Stewart or James McAvoy or, Ian McKellen or Michael Fassbender, or maybe we could even see Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, or Deadpool's definitely coming. We know Deadpool's coming to the MCU. So yes, the greater MCU this is official canon at this point, in my personal opinion. In a way, it's not exactly like the Venomverse or the Sony Spider-Man universe now that Sony's doing. It's considered MCU canon to a degree, but it's also its own timeline that can be plucked and used in the Avengers world if need be. So yes and no in a way, if you catch my drift. But the real question here is, guys, what do you guys think? Do you guys think the old Sam Raimi Spider-Mans are now official MCU canon? What about the Andrew Garfield Spider-Mans? Please let me know what you guys think. Comment below and definitely let me know, and hit that like and subscribe button, and please hit the notification bell so you get all the notifications about when I put up new content right here on this channel. And until my next video, guys, take care.